Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dave Wood, and I am here with the legendary Bob Becket. And you might not know Bob if you are paying attention right now, and if this is, if you've been on a few of the lives that I've done, or if you've been following me for a long while, you may or may not even know who this is. But this is somebody that he has been on the internet for a very long time. Actually, I wrote this in the description, but Bob actually, I want you to imagine this. He started marketing when he was 12 years old. I only have actually one other friend that is close to me that had started marketing when they were 12. And by the time he was 14 years old, he was a multi-six-figure affiliate marketer. So think about this. He gets started when he's 12. By the time he's 14, he's earning multiple six figures online. And then essentially since he's been 14 years old, he's been going from industry to industry, doing the same business model that still works to this day. And we're going to talk about that today. And he has specialized for a very long time in building email lists to millions and millions of people. Okay. So if you're watching this and you're like, I think a lot of people when they're watching things that, I put out, they're struggling, and maybe they even want to know how to get 10 people on a list, or they want to build a list of 100 or 1,000 people. Well, he has specialized for a very long time, Mr. Bob Becket, in building lists of multiple millions of people. And so today we're going to talk obviously about how he does that. Now, he actually kind of retired from, more biz op type stuff. After building his own multi-million-dollar empire. He joined Empower Network, brought a bunch of people in there as well when I was running that. And, now he trades. He started trading, and then he just took the same business model into trading. And now he has just last year, he brought in 30,000 students to his trading business. So he not only makes money trading, but he makes money teaching trading. So this is going to be a unique opportunity to learn things that you can only learn from somebody with a lifetime experience. If you are watching this, and we talked about this right before I got on, he doesn't really do things like this except for his own customers. So this is a chance to learn from multi-million-dollar earner Bob Becket, free of charge for at least a little while. Now, if you want to follow Bob for more, you can go and follow him on Instagram. His Instagram is Big Pippin FX. It's BIGPIPNFX. On Instagram, I'll also post that in the comments. So with that being said, if you get value from this, if you are if you like this kind of information, please let me know by liking this video, by sharing this video with people that you know that can use this information and strategies, and of course, engage with us, talk with us in the comments as we're going along, and that would be appreciated. So with that being said, Bob, why don't we start off by I'm so interested by your story, because getting started at 12 and then getting to six figures by 14, this is just something different. So just tell me how that even happens, right? How did you get started? How did you get started at 12? And then give me this little transition story about how you got to six figures by the time you were 14 years old, if you can.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me on here, David. This is amazing. I don't do any podcasts. I just don't even go out there anymore. You know why? Because I build big freaking lists, and I could just hide behind my computer and sell a bunch of stuff and literally only go in front of the people that paid me a bunch of money, and, just keep it nice and tight. And, long story short, I'm terrified of stages. Like, I've been asked to speak at all kinds of stages. That's one of my biggest fears. So I'm like, you know what? I don't have to ever do that. So I'm just never going to do it. And the funniest thing ever is I built lists. Now, I kind of go back and forth because my ADHD, but we'll see what happens here. My biggest fear was speaking, and I went in front. I was building the systems for this company one year. It was actually Mark Hoverson, and it was Vincent Ortega Jr. and all these guys over there. They were building this one of these biz op deals, and I was behind the scenes building these funnels out. And I was kind of like helping with their follow-up systems and all that stuff, just staying behind the scenes. But he wanted me to come on once, and I was like, no, I ain't doing that crap. And it was actually the greatest thing I ever did for myself, okay, just so you know. But I jumped on there, and, it was terrifying. He left. I get on here, neither Mark or freaking Vincent could stay. Vincent had to go. There's 900 people on this freaking event. In my heart, all I could hear the whole time I was talking was like, oh, my gosh. And I was freaking out, right? So that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because after, supposedly I said something good, because everybody was just like following me on Facebook and like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh, I can't believe you just said all this stuff. And I'm like, huh? Like, they're like, do it again. Come on again. I'm like, no, what are you talking about? That was the worst thing I ever did in my life. And then, long story, it was the best thing, because now that was like thousands of times ago. I still don't think I'll speak on stage, but that's not because I'm a wuss, but just much unneeded stress. Not for people like David Wood, that's like amazing. Anyways, so when I was 12 years old, I was really always fascinated with technology and computers and stuff. And I just turned 40. I'm not going to try to act like I'm still some young buck, but back then I was fascinated with the internet, fascinated with stuff. And I actually was learning how to like hack AOL. So during the day, back then, David, remember how like dorky it was to be on a computer? So like I would literally hide like the fact that I love computers from all my friends. I played sports. I had girlfriends, that kind of stuff during the day. At night, I would like sneak onto the computer and I would just be like, oh, I love this stuff. I was just obsessed with it. And I was really big into like hacking and stuff like that at one point. In fact, so much so that like AOL even shut down because of things I was doing to the keyboard.
Really?
And stuff. Oh yeah, it was pretty nuts. Yeah, it was for a short time, but I would the welcome, like I would change things on their screen and then millions of people would see it and they would shut it down and like I would do that kind of stuff. It was fun. So then I would like, anyways, I'm not going to tell everything. But long story short, I learned to program by 12. So I'm like, in the day I'm playing football and sports and stuff like that. At night, I'm like learning how to program. And I built like this bot that would sit in chat rooms and it would like just collect all their names all day. And the only reason I was doing that, and it sounds so stupid, was so that I could crack their passwords. Now, I wasn't actually using their accounts, but I was just fascinated with the fact that I could crack their passwords, right? I would never steal their stuff, just so we were clear. It was just a fascination of like, wow, if I could do this, because Steve Case's big motto back then, I'll fast forward this, is like we're the most safest, secure thing on the internet. And I was just like taking over any account I wanted. I was like, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, there was these two 15-year-old kids that came out with this. And you might remember this. I don't know. Maybe you were back there or not, back then on the computer or not. But there's these two like 15-year-old dudes that came out with this advertising platform. It was like the first affiliate program I've ever seen in my life. And they said, if you download this software and you put this advertising bar at the bottom of my screen, we'll pay you 25 cents an hour. Okay. But here was the kicker. We'll pay you 5 cents an hour for every single person you share it with. I'm 12 years old. I'm like, well, I could just send an email, because back then there's no canned spam compliant acts. Like I could freaking inbox every single time into every AOL account. So of course I just built this. I just built an add-on to my system, and my bot would just collect all the emails or collect all the usernames. And then back then it was just username plus AOL.com. And my bot would just send them a quick email saying, hey, you got to check out this thing. You make 25 cents an hour, 5 cents you can share. And it was like multi-tiered,
Right.
Next thing you know, I had that thing up at 12, 13 years old. I think it was around $10,000 to $12,000 a month residual. And I didn't even know what freaking residual was. Oh, dude, it was insane. It was absolutely insane.
So you were making this was 12 years old, and you're making like 13 grand a month.
Up to, yeah, not every month. It was like, yeah, but yes. So, long story short, this is back when everybody was saying, hey, this is going to be a fad and all this stuff, and I was like, I don't think so. This is like this is like real. This is real, like this is actually a thing. So I got more obsessed, and I started, selling. There was like more affiliate programs that come out, and I started selling like different kind of offers, and I would generate leads for companies, like online companies and stuff like that. And then eBay came out, and just a middle thing. I built this. I was a power seller on eBay at 18, and basically had a multiple six-figure business at 18, selling used DirecTV satellite equipment. And I got that idea from those tiny classified ads. Remember, what's his face? He go, tiny classified ads, Yeah. Don, you know what I'm saying? It was all over the freaking. I'm like, what if I just put classified ads out for people that don't have, that have like stacks of those things they didn't pay their bill for DirecTV. So I grab all those and I would list them all on. I'd get like a stack of 5 of them for $50. I would take the card out, because back then everybody was programming the cards. I wouldn't program the cards, but they would pay $150 just for the card, and I'd sell the units for $200 pop. Long story short, I was making $10,000 weeks at 18. So fast forward to, I think 1920, I was introduced to network marketing, and basically that's when it started getting interesting, because I had that first glimpse into it when I was 12 about multi-tier and all this kind of stuff, and the freedom and all that. And then what happened was, basically it was a company called ACN I got into, and I couldn't really do it how I wanted to do it. Like I was dressing up in the suits, and it was really counter to what I was used to. I was trying to do the whole like, hey, everybody come to my house. And after I burnt through like 50 to 100 of my friends, and everybody knows the story of this stuff. And, I was wearing, I had a little like freaking badge thing. This is when Bluetooth headphones came out, and like I'd wear that because that was like what you're supposed to do to make you cool. And I remember I went to this convention, this network marketing convention in Texas, and like every single person had a suit. Didn't matter what age you were, had a suit and this freaking Bluetooth thing just blinking. Like, and it was like, who had the better looking one, But I remember I was excelling in that business pretty well, actually. And I was on a beach in San Diego. And I remember like, this isn't what this isn't what I signed up for. What I signed up was true freedom. Now that might be freedom for somebody else. That wasn't freedom for me. Like I wanted to be able to like experience this with my whole family and take them on trips and travel and do that thing, not like look at Bob Becket flying across the country and wearing a suit and speaking. I mentioned I hate speaking too. So that helped this decision. I actually flew home early and I'm like, this is dumb. There's got to be a network marketing company online that I could be promoting with a list, because I know how to build lists. It's easy. So I flew home early and I found this nutritional company. And long story short, I basically did my first $1 million at 21 in this nutritional company. And that wasn't because we were discussing prior to this, David, about how I think I suck at getting people to duplicate. Like I'm not some big leader that get people to duplicate. I'm just a guy that can get a bunch of people in. For some reason, I just never could. I got lucky. This was a pure luck thing. I got a bunch of people in, and it just so happened there's a couple Japanese players that jumped in this nutritional company and basically blew up this company to like 300,000 some people under one of my legs. I didn't have to do anything. But after the company paid me for a while, and some of you guys will know which company this is, they basically took my whole leg away. They go, oops, just deleted the whole thing. And I think that guy's in jail today. But so that's it. Maybe I'll slow down a little bit. Am I going really fast?
No, it's fine. I mean, we're jumping around to a bunch of different stories here, but this is good. So, you're in a company and you had a big Japanese leg, and then the company just took it.
Yeah.
Okay. And
literally
go on. Huh?
Go on with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just keep telling your story. Tell us what happens next. Yeah. We'll get into. There's a lot of things that just from what you've said already that I already want to start pulling out, but we can get to it when we get to it. I want to hear the story.
Okay. So what happened there? The reason I actually made so much with that company was, of course, I got into the back end. I was building systems out for this company at 21. I was building some of their systems out, helping them with their follow-up sequence, helping them with that kind of stuff. And they would promise me all these numbers. And, it was going to be like a $5-10 million a year deal for me. That was the, behind the scenes thing that was supposed to happen. And, instead, of course, I was some naive 21-year-old dude that didn't do contracts and stuff yet. I was just like, yeah, man, that's cool. You're a really nice guy. Thank you so much. And after paying that, they pretty much just made it go away. And I swore I'd never do another company again, actually, unless I controlled the list. And that's when I started building. I swore on everything I would never do anything unless I had a squeeze page in front of it. And I would always send traffic. If I'm spending money on traffic or even spending my time on content or whatever, if it's going somewhere, I'm collecting the lead, period. Like,
right.
I'm not just giving it to the company and going from there. So from there, I pretty much, what did I do after that? Oh, then I got into offer creation on like ClickBank. And so I had some really big monsters on there under pen names. So I had a bunch of different pen names. I'd build these huge email lists on there. And then basically I would sell other people's affiliate offers on ClickBank mainly. And I don't know who remembers ClickBank. I mean, I guess they're still around. I have friends still making $1 million a month on ClickBank, but I was having like $10,000 to $50,000 days on there. I mean, it was freaking nuts. I'd shoot out an email. I mean, I remember I had a what was it, 800,000 list. and I would shoot out an email, and gosh, I would shoot it out at 8 in the morning, and by freaking noon, I'd have 100,000 some people, like pretty much would go anywhere I wanted. It was insane. And this,
like you'd have
this is like
100,000 clicks.
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
Yeah, that's back when like email marketing was a little different, huh?
Oh, it was really amazing. But I would shoot it out to this like my favorite were like the rebill ones. So I'd shoot them out to these little, $18 front end, $47 front end offers, and they'd pay 50% to 75% commissions. Some of those things, man, would last years. Like, I mean, those little $11 commissions, I mean, added up to tens of thousands of dollars. It was insane. I mean, and they would just come every single month, whether I did anything or not. So this is actually a cool story because I built this one list of about 800,000, and it was just so easy for like 3 years straight. I didn't have to do anything other than keep pushing these offers. We had these things called JVs. Well, we have those today too, but basically they would push my ClickBank offer, I pushed their ClickBank offer, and then it was just this giant freaking circle thing, and we'd just all push each other all the time. We'd have a new launch contest, boom, boom, boom. Have a new big list of buyers to sell to, and it was so easy. But here's what happened. So I remember specifically, I was at a zoo. I was holding I think he was 3 years old at the time, my son, and we were looking at this gorilla. And I remember it was like 1 o'clock because I already had I think it was like 70,000 clicks that day, and I made a ton of money. And I get this phone call, and as I'm holding my son, looking at this gorilla, he grabs this giant piece of just his own poop. Okay. He just grabs it and just starts eating it. And I remember I'm holding my son, and this thing's eating poop. And then this guy calls me, and it's this company called Campaigner. That was the company I was using at the time. And he goes, "Hey, Bob, we're so sorry. We have to take down your email list." And so I watched this ape eat crap, and I'm holding my son on this trip. and as this guy's telling me, like, basically your whole business is gone, and because it wasn't just as easy as like saying, okay, I'm going to take this 800,000 list and just put it over here. And, and trust me, I tried. I think I spent like $500,000 trying different servers and all kinds of stuff to get it back up, and I just couldn't get it back up. So it was like so hard to get back up, and I'd had to restart over and over and over and over and over again to build my list. So much so that the only way I could continue was that way that I talked about it at the beginning, where I would jump on freaking the camera and start talking to people and actually show my face and actually try to help people. And actually, not that I didn't try to help people with the products I was selling before, but like when it's you, it's like you want to help them even more because like you only got one name, right? So you're trying to give as much value as humanly possible.
Sure.
And help as many people as humanly possible, and the word spreads and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, I've had I would say the moral of the story is always build your list. That's all I've ever done since I was 12. I just built a new list, and like David said, it is over 30,000 buyers last year of $7 front end buyers. Which, by the way, $7 front ends, you think that's like crap, but man, a lot of those people, they have $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 on the back end, right? So I think that's where I wanted to lead into today about how I build these big lists. Maybe not 1 million anymore, but like very, very engaged 100, 200, 300,000 lists is pretty easy to do, anymore.
Yeah.
And you can hit 1 million, obviously, if your advertising budget's infinite. But it just gets harder, like, why Campaigner canceled me, by the way? It wasn't because I was like doing anything wrong. It's because my list was so big that even though I was under the spam complaint ratio, I was still generating thousands of spam complaints on their servers. So my list was too big for them, right? Just in Aweber, I had like 20 different Aweber accounts. They just banned me like instantly. Now I try. I don't know how they track me. They got some technology. If I try to open an account, they're like, "Bob, stop trying." I'm not kidding, bro. It gets insane. Like I try to like, dude.
Once Aweber kicks you off, they just will ban anything that you put out. I've had them steal affiliate commissions and all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah,
that kind of thing happens, But I mean, today though, this isn't really a problem because there are places that will take your email list now. I mean, there's places that are fine with affiliate marketers. They're fine with big email lists and stuff like that. So how do you build? Let's talk about this thing about building a. I really like campaign refinery. Actually, is what I recommend right now. But how do you build such a big email list? Let's talk about like how to do that, right? Like how do we build a big email list? Because you've done this so many times. Like, how do you do that?
Well,
I think so many people struggle to get 10 leads. You know what I mean? And here you're like, yeah, 100,000, yeah, a million, yeah, I had 800,000, 100,000 clicks, and it's just like normal for you. That is not normal for most people. So let's talk about how to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's important to say where I kind of learned. I was building lists before, but like I finally understood why it was happening. And it still matters to this day. And there was a guy, he's still around, by the name of Joe Schroeder. You ever hear of him?
Yeah, I had him out just the other week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. Well, that dude changed my freaking life. Holy crap.
Was awesome, dude.
Yeah. So and I'm going to say it wrong, but he said something. There's a couple things. You don't have to get it right. You just got to get it going. Bury the words I can't. Was the same Joe Schroeder?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the one that really got me was, and I'm going to say this wrong. I always said it wrong, but to get more get value, you first have to get more give value. I believe it was said. He said it's something like that. And he would preach it all the time. And basically what I got passionate about was people need you, right? So like, how can you provide value to somebody? And I always start with that. So like, you don't want to just like generate a lead just to generate a lead. You need to have a purpose, right? And what I always tell everybody, if you're going to run a biz op, like if you're going to build a biz op or you're going to build any of that stuff, first brand you, sell people on you, and then people will just naturally just join whatever it is you're doing, right? So what is something that you are really, really awesome at that you could provide a service for, or you could sell on the front to self-liquidate advertising costs? I'm a huge advocate of high ticket offers, right? And if you're too afraid to do things like $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, I know David's not afraid to do that because his whole program was freaking built off that. If you're too afraid, I mean, you could at least do like $1,000 offer on the back end and probably be pretty good. I've had offers where I'd have an automated webinar, and I'll get into the how in a second, where all I did was have an automated webinar that sold a $997 product, and I would just run ads to the front of that offer, and I'd profit about 50%, and all the leads were free, right? And then you could sell other people's stuff. So the secret is really you got to just create an offer. I was just talking to my friend earlier. He's like trying to get his offer perfect. I'm actually proud of him. He's got a sales video up. He's got an idea for something to sell, but he's trying to create this offer right now. And I'm like, look, man, just start selling it first. And then just as soon as people start buying, just make it really fast. You know how to make the product. And you're probably going to have like 10 tries at it before you get your big success from it, So really you need to be able to create an offer of your own, right, to sell your own, period. You need to start branding. And I've heard this, I'm sure you've heard this a million freaking times, but look, until someone hands you money, not your business opportunity because of you, but until someone hands you money, gives you money in your like Stripe account or whatever, your PayPal, they don't truly like and trust you. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you need to get to the point where you can start collecting money. And then all of a sudden, because they did that, it's like this handshake. Now they trust you. Now they pulled out their credit card. And you got this big list of people that trusted you enough to take the first step. Then it's your job within the first, whether it was $1 or $100, the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes is to blow their mind. This is your one opportunity to blow their freaking mind. Like, be everything you've wanted for that person, for whatever that pain that you're solving is, right? Within 5-10 minutes, just blow their freaking mind. Because they're probably looking all around for different people that will teach them whatever that subject is right now. So like if you can't catch their attention, even after they paid you, that's going to be a problem. So get them in the front door, have like a $7 front end offer, whether that's like, and everybody's good at something. Maybe you got 20 people in your network marketing company last month. Maybe you're really good at selling on the phone. Don't think because you got like Ray Higdon and all these big guys out there that know all this stuff that you can't have like your own little piece. Like maybe somebody doesn't want to work with Ray. Maybe like somebody likes your personality better, right? So really what you have to learn to build a big list is to build a self-liquidating offer that you could just run ads to, and it just closes all the time nonstop for you. And the advertising is liquidated by your profits on the back. And now that you have that list, it's game over for you. Like you could blow up anything you want because pretty much in any niche too. Like I could sell my trader list. I could sell them anything. Like if I'm on a mission to lose another 20 pounds afterwards, hey, I'm going to probably tell them, hey, I lost 20 pounds, like to my Forex list. They'll still buy because they like me. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much all I focus on.
Right. So you to build your list, you have some sort of like offer that sells yourself $7, right? And then from the $7 offer, you have like a high ticket back end, right? So let's talk about both those things that you do, because this is, I think the interesting thing about this again is that you've done this in so many niches and you've done the same thing since you've been 14 years old and you're 40 now. So this has worked for 25 years, 26 years, I guess. Anytime you run into something that's worked for 26 years, I think you should listen, because so many people are teaching things that don't work anymore, right? So first of all, what can you sell on the front end that has a lot of value that somebody can put together? Like, let's talk about this $7 offer. Like, give me some examples of things people could sell.
So like for my Forex space, people have a really hard time identifying a certain thing on the charts, like when they're looking at charts. So I developed like an indicator that basically will identify those things on the charts for them, right? So it solves a big problem for them. So, it helps train their eye, in that area. Maybe
so
it's
like
lead generation
or something for $7.
Yep.
Do
so
you
I
have what's the page you have for this offer? Can I look at it?
Yeah, it's pipstackingsecrets.com.
Of course. Secrets.com. Pip stacking secrets. All right, let me look at this. Okay, so you have like a little software you built that shows them the indicators so that it helps train their eye so they can see this stuff more easily, right? And then they get the software for $7.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'm trying to load that. You said pipstackingsecrets.com?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not loading for whatever reason. Maybe it's because we're on a live stream.
Gotta put it in the comments or?
Yeah, put it in the comments. Yeah.
Private? I'll put it in the private.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me just look at this. So you have, there we go. I don't know why that didn't load, right? Hold on a second here. So I want to just like break this down, because you do this a lot. So hold on a second here. Let's see, share my screen. All right, here we go. All right, pip stacking secrets, share. Okay, so here we are. We're on pip stacking secrets. So this is like your sales page, so people can see it.
Yep.
Right. All right. Break down for me, like, why this works. Why does this page like work as well as it does, where you can pull in like 30,000 customers? Teach me the psychology here.
Yeah, so it starts from the ad. So the initial ad, I'm telling them, hey, like literally the banks are screwing you. So like I built this indicator that will teach you that, how to trade with the banks instead of against the banks.
Okay.
So that's it. Like a simple little ad like that. In fact, I'm probably the worst marketer ever, because I've made one ad and I ran the same ad for like a year and a half straight, and I never even changed it. But really? I consistently, I never even changed it one time. But I consistently get, if you looked at my overall stats, it's insane. I still consistently get 14 to 15% sales on the front conversion rate. which
so like 14 out of 100 people that click on this, they buy the $7 offer.
Yep, from cold traffic. Yep.
That is crazy. So you have like a 14%, like people can't even get 14% lead conversions offer. So this is an offer that has 14% of the people that visit this. They buy on the spot, or they buy after retargeting, or like
mainly just on the spot, man. Just impulse buying,
Yeah. So
also, I never even I never even split test this page. As funny as that sounds, too. I just literally put it together and it started working. I'm like, okay, cool. Usually,
I mean, if it's getting 14%, I don't really know how bad that you need to. You need to check it. So anyway, pip stacking. I think this is a good. This is a good page to visit. Hold on just a second. So you can see it here, and you could go and look down, and you can see the psychology. But this is basically what you're doing. So right now, you're not focused on generating leads. You're focused on generating like front end buyers.
Right. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: how much did this software cost? This indicator that you have, how much did this cost you to build?
Oh, not much. I think I spent on this one. Well, I have a guy that's been with me for like 11 years that basically said, hey, go learn how to program on TradingView, which is the platform I'm using. And he went and learned it really fast. And so it probably cost me $500, maybe $300. It was pretty quick.
Right. So you had like a $300, $500 coding project. He built an indicator for you, and then people can buy the they're buying something, so they're getting something tangible. They're getting a software for $7 so that they can do what they're already wanting to do better, which is trading. So that's the psychology of like how you build the front end. So once they buy the $7, like how do you upsell these people? Like how do you get these people to buy a $5,000 or $10,000 backend?
So I've tried all kinds of ways. I used to have setters I would call and welcome, and then get them on a call with one of my closers on the back end to make a scheduled call and, close for me. But what I found is like these people, especially this niche, has been beat down so bad by a bunch of scammers, and where there's a lot of money to be made, there's a lot of people scamming people. So with this, I had to earn their trust. So I put them through this. Every single day, they're getting an email for like the next 60 days of different videos, different trainings, different things like that. And, I'm sending them to like my Instagram, sending them to my YouTube, and sending them all over the place on social media so they could see that I'm everywhere and they could start trusting me. And then every like one or two, maybe once a week, on average, I'll send out an email saying, hey, I have these mentorship spots open where you can work one-on-one with me, and I'll look over your shoulder and give you instant feedback, that kind of thing. And now that they've been on my list for a while, the longer they're on the list, it's the funniest thing. They might think you're a complete doofus at the beginning. Like they don't like you. They think you're ugly. They think you're fat, whatever, all the things you think in your head that they're thinking, whatever the case. But this may have happened to you. The more you see somebody, like let's say it's an ad or a video or whatever, the more you start seeing somebody, the more you just naturally trust them, So I just wanted to be in their face frequently, all the time, just helping them as much as I can all the time, automated, of course. In fact, the first year and a half, I didn't do any live anything. It was just all automated, But
well,
now
you are. You don't really, and you're not like, I know a handful of marketers are like this too. It's just that you don't want to speak. You don't really want to be in front of people. You just want to make money. I love my life. And some people love the limelight and all this. I loved staying behind the curtains. I loved like just building my systems out and just enjoying my friends and life and going like, never really had a real job. So like I'd take my family, my wife and 4 kids, we'd just jump in the SUV and just start driving. Right. So once we did this like 55-day road trip, we were in Ohio. There was like a blizzard at the time. And I'm like, let's just freaking leave. I got my laptop. So I just shoot out an email, done for the day, freaking keep driving. That's that whole laptop lifestyle thing I was doing when I was 20, 22, 20, you know what I mean? Like all the time. And I love renting my cars, my Ferraris and all that stuff. But I still, even when people are like, yeah, I'd be like, I just never liked like, hey, look at me kind of thing. And that's cool. Like, that's just me. It's not that I'm like
scared of it. What really got weird for me is I started going to these marketing events, and because I was starting to be on all these leaderboards, and I know you had this experience, David, but like for me, it was just insane. Like people just would start like going in a circle around me and start talking to me and asking me questions. And I'm like, holy crap, what is happening? Like, I got to go back to the heart thing. And I'm answering the question. They love talking to me and stuff, but I'd have like 20, 30 people around me as I'm like talking to all these people. I'm like, dang it, I don't want to even do this. You know? I'd rather just freaking send out an email and go to the beach. That was always my thing, you know?
Yeah, right. So this is great, by the way, just hearing this from you, because it helps me also relate to the different personalities that are out there, because sometimes, you know, you think that everybody's like you know what I mean? Or like everybody wants to speak on stage, and actually, no, they don't. You know, I had a lot of people that were like this, that they came in.
Dude, if you ask me, no.
Yeah.
Nope. I just got asked to speak in front of $1,000 buyers at a Forex event as a keynote in Tampa. I was like, nope. I said no.
I mean, that could have made you a lot of money though, but you just don't care.
I don't care. I could make, I would have made a lot of money, lump sum, probably made quite a bit. They even said I could sell my own stuff. And I'm just like, I just don't care. I don't, the amount of stress. Could I do it? Yes, I could go up and do it. I'm not afraid actually to stand on the stage and stuff. It's that whole time in between. It's like the whole, like the preparation and like getting everything ready, and like the, just knowing that I have this big thing out here, like stresses me out. I don't want to do that. I'll go attend, but I don't want to do it. You know, not what I could just set out. You know, because people don't believe me.
I think that's great, dude. You know, it's great because you know, you have I think that helps build the image that you know you're building things the way that you want anyway, because people don't have to be a big public speaker to market on the internet. These are two different things. You know, I think sometimes people think, oh, I have to do that, and they get really stressed. And actually, no, you don't have to do that. You know, so
no, not at all.
So, okay, so I want to break down these mechanics a little bit. So there's a couple things, and then we're going to get back to this upsell process, because I think this is important, right? You know, and obviously people could go check out their offer. I'd encourage you to, you know, go pick up this. It's $7 to pick up his indicator. You know what I'm saying? You can go to his website and you just, you know, it's like $7, and you have this little indicator, and you can see the process by yourself. And, you know, maybe if you're not even in Forex, it's worth $7 to just go see it. You know, so that's the thing about a $7 offer, is it's so mindless. Like if people are there and it's like, well, if this can really help me, it's so inexpensive that it's really stupid for them to not just make a decision to buy it right then. Like that's the thing about a low cost offer, right? So, and then, so first of all, let's break down something that you talked about. You got like 5 or 10 minutes to like wow people, right? Once you get them to buy something, like then you got to wow them. So how do you do that? Like, what's your current process for getting people to say, oh, wow?
Well, first it's how fast was it delivered? That's huge. Like I get a lot of people like before, if it goes to their spam, you're screwed right away because they hate you. They think it's your fault. You know, the amount of support tickets we'll get, because if they have like a Yahoo email, it's going to their spam every freaking time. You know, but you have to wow them with the whole onboarding process. You have to make it as easy as possible. First and foremost, you have to get right into it. You don't want this big long, like, dude, the days of these long drawn out courses are freaking over. You know why? Because TikTok, 60 seconds, all this stuff, people's attention span are completely freaking gone. They're out the freaking window. Unless they're extremely passionate about that subject. Like their attention span is just so low. You just need to get right into it, right? So like right into my welcome video, my welcome's like, here's how to install it, like as fast as humanly possible. Here's the main strategy. Like within 5 minutes, I'm teaching them, like, here's how to install it. Here's the main strategy. Hit up my coach, ask him any live questions you want. I hire a lot of Filipino people. I've done that for like the last 20 years.
They're great.
Amazing, hardworking, awesome individuals that are super, super talented. And it allows me to have a lot of American employees because, you know, they'll charge me $100 a week to do what it would cost me $2,000 a week here in America, you know. And they actually appreciate it, you know.
And then they do a better job a lot of the time too. I mean, just be real.
Oh yeah, and they still call you. They'll call you sir or ma'am, and they respect you. And man, you take care of them. They're the most loyalist people on the freaking planet. Like they will just never leave your side. It's so amazing. So I have a Filipino that basically he speaks really good English and loves trading Forex, you know? So like he sits there in a room all week, and like anybody that has any questions at all, he'll literally just do a video for them. Be like, hey, what's up, Paul? You know, like, here's how to set it up. Here's how to trade it. Oh my gosh. Like, he'll even jump on calls with them. So they paid $7 and they're getting a real person to actually walk them through every freaking thing there is in the whole
that's
program.
A wow factor. That's like people are like, whoa, you know, people wouldn't do that for $1,000 somewhere else, which is true. Yeah.
I could package that for $19.97 and say, look, you get unlimited access to my coach, and I could easily sell that. But my idea is I want to get as many people who are struggling at trading or wanting to learn trading, like into like the next step, because that's where I could take them to mentorship, you know, because I don't like taking brand new people into mentorship and teaching them like, here's how to open a chart, you know. It's pretty bad. So like, I just want to wow them as much as possible. So the same thing with you, like the longer they wait in between when they purchase, like you do not want them to have any wait whatsoever. They're already calling their bank, doing a chargeback. Like they're already saying this was a fraud charge, even on $7, dude. It's insane. Like if it's not fast enough, they're going to call their bank. they're ticked off. They hate you already and all that stuff. So speed of delivery, you know, delivering them, an onboarding process, making it as simple as humanly possible. And then how can you wow them for that $7? Because if you can wow them at $7, they will give you $5,000 to $10,000, period.
Right. Okay. So we've got that. So that gives, I think, everybody here good ideas on what they can put together. Because this whole process, I mean, if you think about like everybody watching this right now, I mean, I can't even believe, you know, you're even sharing some of this stuff for free. Of course I am asking, but you know, you have a $7 offer that cost you like $300 or $400 to make. It's not a lot of money to make add-ons and plugins and things like this on other people's softwares. And then right when people get in there, they can install it right then. It's like, hey, here's how to do it. You don't drag on forever. And then you have a Filipino employee, which they're extremely inexpensive to get Filipino employees, and they're very hardworking people. And you can also do this, for example, in places like Colombia and, you know, Costa Rica. Costa Rica is more expensive than Colombia. And so you have this person. Now, this transition, so you don't upsell them right away. Like you don't bring them in for $7 and then you have like another upsell and another upsell. Like what's your upsell process? Yeah, okay. Tell me about that.
For a year straight, I profited on the front. It was like I was working with my business partner. Some of you guys might know James Starr. I was working with my business partner. He was my business partner for like 5-6 years. Now he runs a marketing company, does marketing for all these gazillionaires, but he does all my marketing because I don't want to touch it anymore. You know, I didn't even get into that. We had like an $8 million plus traffic company called Human Eyeballs. Anyways, took that down. But yeah, so right after they spend $7, there's a option they could upgrade for $27. Like they could check a box. It's an order bump, you know. Most people take that. So anybody who agreed to take $7 usually takes that. So it's like $34 I make per person.
So what is the $27 order bump? What is it?
That is my it's basically like how to pass prop firms or something like that. I haven't even looked at that. I probably got to go back and look at that, make it better. Talking about wowing people now that we're talking about it. I'm always wanting to make it better, you know, not just to help them more, but it helps guide them through the whole sales process through the back end too, you know. So there's that $27 offer, then it goes to a $47 offer, then it goes to a $97 offer. And then why I brought up James is he has all these big clients. And without split testing, I'm pretty proud of this. Probably because I've just been doing it for so long. Without even split testing, I stayed profitable on the front end, which is unheard of. Usually, you have to have the back end to actually profit. I stayed profitable for a whole year using the same ad in the same site without changing anything. And it was just me in front of.
What's the point of changing it if it works? You know what I mean? Like if it works, why would you like? If it works that good. You know, like 14% front end conversions on $7, bro. It's pretty good. You know,
and bro, so many people get caught up on this stuff. Like I sucked on video when I first started, right? And I still don't think I'm the best, but like, dude, that doesn't matter. The fact is, you got to realize how the brain, like the humans think, right? Yeah, think about it like this: when you see someone go on stage, naturally, let's say it was like this heavy set 400-pound dude with zits all over his face. Naturally, you're just wanting to judge that guy. I mean, we're human. We're like, oh no, what's going to happen here? Like, and then they get on, and then what really mattered was what came out of his mouth. Then all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, this guy's amazing. Right.
Yeah.
So the one and only ad I made for my thing was I literally jumped in front of this lake and I say, hey, you want to learn how to trade with the banks? I just made this brand new indicator. It's only $7. Click here now. That was literally it. So many people that get stuck and caught up on like, Seth, what's up, Seth? So many people get stuck on like, oh, well, this video didn't look like this, and this was unprofessional, and this audio is so bad, and like I need to go make like 10 more. Maybe I need to drop 10 more pounds before I can do my video. I hear this kind of stuff all the time. It's insane. Just shoot your freaking video, and then some people are going to like you and some people aren't, meaning for ads and stuff, right? Same thing with sales. Like if it's something for $7 on the front end, you need to be quick, just like how you deliver the product. You need to be quick. You need to sell that thing. Go right into why they should buy it immediately. Don't even try to sell yourself. Don't be like, hello, my name is Bob Becket. And just be like, look, this indicator does this. If you want to start profiting a lot more, do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And then you could get into yourself if you want to, but just go for the kill, just go for the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's only $7. I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody can't spend $7, or if somebody is going to make like that a life decision to make $7, I mean, it's like, oh wait, before I spend the $7, I have to go pray about it. I mean, you don't really want people to buy your stuff. You know what I mean? It's $7. It's not a lot of money. So okay,
exactly.
So you don't do list building in front of that. So you don't send people from ads to like generate like an email list anymore.
No, my only list are people who start at step one, like start filling it out. So buyer intent, and people, and then my automation follows up, saying, hey, why didn't you finish? And then start sending them content, and then gets them back in the front. And then, so the only thing, as soon as they put their name, email, and phone to start step one of the 2-step checkout, that's when I collect their email. So whether they're a buyer or buyer.
When somebody puts their name, email, phone, and do you have like, you're collecting the phone on the front end of the checkout, but like, do you do anything with that? Do you send them text? Do you send them like phone calls? Huh?
Yep. Yeah. Texts. I used to have a whole team in house that would call everybody, but now I just have a couple people that will call and just welcome all new members, that kind of thing. The reason is remember I said this industry was jaded. I used to have them call and try to get them on a one-on-one mentorship call, but like everybody's like, dude, I ain't paying no more extra money. I paid you $7. It worked in like my marketing niche, like Human Eyeballs. That company was doing millions of dollars a year. We were one of the number one traffic company for biz ops on the planet for like the longest time. and I had a whole upsell process in that, man. I would freaking sell them a traffic package on the front. And then I had a whole back end service, building out their capture pages for like $1,000. And on the back end of that, I had mentorship and coaching for anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 on how we build funnels and all that kind of stuff. So you just have to wow them all the way through,
Yeah, right. Okay. So then you do so you have this, and then you wow them on the next step. You do have people calling sometimes with leads and welcoming the members and stuff like that, but it's not as aggressive in this niche. And then this transition to where you get people into the high ticket upsell. Now, are you personally doing those calls if you are do you generate applications? Do you get them to go through an application funnel to work with you? Do you just get them on a scheduler? Like, how do people get on sales calls in order to purchase?
So I use JotForm. Excuse me. I use JotForm for an application. It's like a 15, 20 question application. And basically it's to see how serious they are, their whys, all the questions a sales guy would need to know to talk to this person. See if they're also a good fit. You know what I'm saying? We don't just take somebody if there's their last dollar or anything like that. I straight up ask them now to the point where I was getting so many applications. We've had thousands and thousands of applications to work with me. And I was getting so many. I'm like, let's just ask them, do you have $5,000 plus or a 640 plus credit score to work with me? So now they'll be like, no, I don't. And then I just send them to like, well, I'm sorry, you're not qualified yet, whatever. And then the other ones are just like, hey, we got another lead that says they have the money. They have at least $5,000 right now. It's like the easiest thing in the world. If you do it right, like if you do the follow-ups right and your content right and all this stuff, it's almost like you can get anybody to sell for you. I mean, it takes some skills, obviously. And the guy who I have with me has been with me for like 17 years, known him forever. Amazing. You know, you don't have to do the closing. Another question you asked is no, like I got out of that niche. I don't want to close anything anymore. Like, can I sell? Yes, I could sell. I'm really freaking good at selling. I just don't want to sell. I just don't want to do any of that. I just want to trade. Like I got it down to where literally all I have to do is show up to 2 calls a week. That's
really
it. And then
so your business then has gone from like doing this to where it's like you got somebody else doing the marketing. Are you running your own traffic, or do you have somebody else running the traffic?
I have, and they're all A players. Focus on A players. I have somebody running all my traffic, all my YouTube, all my Facebook. I have somebody calling all the leads when they come in. I call lead the buyer. I have somebody managing all my emails, all my follow-ups, finding proof, emailing the proof out to people saying, hey, this is awesome. And then go fill out the application.
So you're not even doing the emails anymore?
Sometimes I do if I feel like an urge. I'm like, ooh, I want to get this out there. Yeah,
right. Okay.
I literally do nothing now. In fact, I just built this video team. If you notice, I started doing reels and stuff, right? Well, I'm like, well, look, man, the only reason I'm even doing those lives is, well, for one, they wanted me on there, my students. But 2, I now I'm getting like 10 to 20 content pieces out of each live, right? So I'll go live. I'll have like a little bit of different things I want to talk about on the page, like bullet points. And then I literally will take the video in raw, like I'll upload it to Google Drive. Then I have 3 Filipinos that'll literally, I have 1 Filipino that'll go through each video that I did and timestamp pieces of content. He all of them trade Forex. They all trade Forex. They understand my niche. So he'll timestamp different parts in there that he liked that are 60 seconds or under. I'll go and I'll approve that. Oh, this is the other thing I do. I'll go and approve that timestamp. So I don't have to rewatch my whole freaking video. I'll go approve that timestamp in Trello and I'll set that as a separate card. That's all I do. And then from there, I have 3 other Filipinos that will edit the videos, all that stuff. Oh, I do one more thing. I approve the video at the end. I watch my video and I make sure I liked it. And then I slide it over. And then my other friend, he starts posting it. Another team member, he posts it to YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Facebook Reels, and Instagram Reels.
Right. Okay. And then, so basically, you show up twice a week to do trading. During the training, your Filipinos are coming and they're taking these sessions that you're doing, and they're making 15 to 20. They're getting some the content pieces that you need to do Facebook Reels, to do TikTok, to do YouTube, and then your team is doing everything else. Somebody else is doing your emails. They're gathering social proof. They're sending the email out. Somebody else is doing your marketing. They're getting your marketing out, and then you're just showing up like twice a week to do the live trading. That's your business model.
Right. Yeah. Like I just got a message just now. I looked down as my sales guy said, I need you to send an invoice for $10,000 over to this guy. I have no idea who this guy is. I never talked to him. It was my whole team talked to him the whole time. And now I tell my other Filipino, hey, I need an invoice. That's it. And then when he finally joins and he's in my room, that's the first time I meet him. And I'm like, what's up, buddy? How you doing? You know? And it's all about positioning, right? That's a whole nother topic. So I finally built the business I wanted. You know what I mean? Like it took me years to get to this point where I could be like, okay.
That's a great business, dude. That's like everybody here is listening to you. And I promise most of the people that are listening to what you're saying, they're like, oh my God, that is like a fantasy business. You know what I mean? It's like, they're like, wait a second. So what do you do? And you're like, well, I show up twice a week.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts, honestly. And sometimes I even call those off. Like it just depends on what I'm doing that week and all that stuff. And yeah, it's fun. You know, I've always dreamed of building a business this way. I've read that 4-hour work week, you know, a long time ago. And I'm like, man, that would be a dream. Because before I was working like 80 hours. I had like 20, 30 employees when I had my marketing company. And I hated it. I hated it every day. In fact, I didn't tell you about that. But like I was doing millions a year. But I was extremely stressed and unhappy. I stopped sleeping at night. And I started getting like heart palpitations, you know, like it was freaking crazy. And I basically locked myself in a room for like 9 months. I thought I was losing my mind. And I was still making all this money, but I hated it. Right. And I had all kinds of offers for my company, Human Eyeballs, and I literally didn't even care. I was like, this thing's evil. Like I want nothing to do with marketing companies. I don't even want to try to sell it right now. This is free. It's going to kill me, you know? And that's when I got into trading, by the way. I was already into trading, but I got really serious into trading then. I was like, I never want to sell anything again in my life. I never want to work when I don't have to. I never make any appointment. Like for me to make an appointment for you other than the dentist, which I have freaking Thursday, like is unheard of. Like, not that I'm important. Not that I think like, ooh, look, I'm Bob Becket. It's literally because I hate appointments. I hate like saying, okay, at this time, I have to be there at this freaking time because I said I have to be, you know what I mean? Like, I hate that.
Dude, I totally get you. I totally understand. Well, it's because we like each other, right? It's not really like there's not really another reason. I reached out because I like you, and then you're like, yeah, what the heck, man? Let's do it. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm not paying Bob to be here. You know, he's like, if you're watching this, you know, you should have gotten enough value from this to be able to go make like at least $10,000 or $20,000, you know, once. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this is pretty unheard of to get to, because we, you know, looked at your page and everything. I encourage you obviously to go to his website and just buy the $7 thing and see his process for yourself, because this is actually just such a brilliant process, bro. You know, I just like how you don't do anything personally. That's the thing that I like the most about this interview. Well, you know, when I was building in Power, not a lot of people know this. When I was building in Power Network during the biggest year that we had in that, we did about 80 million in sales in 1 year.
Wow.
And I worked about 4 hours a week.
Yep.
Yeah, except for if I was doing an event. You know, now I should have worked more than that. I would have been able to kept that together if I had worked more than the 4 hours a week that year, right? But I didn't do anything. You know, I sent an email, you know, a few times a week. I got a conference call on Monday, and then I did my events, you know.
Yeah, you probably just did what you love. Like what I'm finding that I really love, I just love creating content, to be honest with you. I really am passionate about trading. I used to be passionate about teaching marketing and entrepreneurship and sales. I just don't even want to talk about it anymore. In fact, that really helped me build this business out, because I'm like, look, yeah, can I make more money if I just went and jumped on a call real quick and said, give me your money? Like it's probably that easy. I could probably jump on, and because it was me and I was branded, I could probably be like, yeah, just send this over here. And that was it. But like, look, man, I get to help my sales guys out. That's the way I look at everything. Like I got all these amazing A players. That's one key that you got to focus on. Don't cheapen yourself. Like I got the best Filipinos that I could find. I went through so if I spent any time at all in anything, like for instance, this content creation system I just built out where I just do this, I spent probably 70 hours a week for 3 weeks straight, just with the vision of like, I don't want to ever do this again. You know what I mean? How can I replace myself completely so I never have to do this again? Right. That's always what's in my head.
Yeah. So you're all the time, what you're thinking about that's enabling you to do this. Let's go to mindset here, because you've done this kind of thing again and again. You obviously, you know how to make money in all sorts of niches. You have the same essential model in every niche that you do, right? Maybe there's some tweaks on it and things like this, but it's the same thing. You're building a big list. You're getting a front end offer. You're getting the front end converting. You're running a bunch of ads to it and getting a ton of customers to it. And then you have a $5,000 or $10,000 upsell in the back end. I mean, this has been a repeating model since you've been on the internet, since you've been 14 years old, which now you're 40. Yeah. So this is the last 26 years this has worked, right? Maybe with some variations, like the front end offers might change. Yeah. The way that you're generating the leads, that might change because, you know, you're moving from Facebook to TikTok or whatever it is, right? Is market trends change. But basically you've been doing the same thing for 26 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And never be, see, because I used to train in this world, you know, like entrepreneurship. And the biggest hurdles people would have is like, well, they're like, well, all the competition. Dude, I love competition. Like they tell me everything that's already working. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to steal what they're doing. I could just like do it better, and I could be me. And here's the thing is some people are going to like you way better than they like that other person. You know what I mean? So just getting off the ground is where I see most people fail, is they're just too afraid to just put themselves out there and just sell stuff. Like you really got to ask about your why. Like, why are you doing this? Right? Are you just doing this so you could just make a little bit of side money so you can maybe go out to eat once a week or something? Or are you trying to actually live a free lifestyle where Like I've lived this way. You could ask Seth. Seth knew me. He was the best man at my wedding. Seth was in here. He's known me since freaking 15 years old. So he's well, I was 17. He was 15, but he's known me forever. You could ask him if I ever had a freaking job in my freaking life. No, like legit. Like he'd be like, "Where are you at now, Bob?" I'm in California with the whole family. Like that was my dream. I just want to have a family. This is my idea of this was my why. I wanted to share with my family. I always called it freedom lifestyle, like where you didn't have to answer to a boss, where you didn't have like what that whole pipe dream that everybody puts out there. It's actually real. You just have to believe in yourself enough to do it. And your why really truly has to be big enough, like where you'll go all in. Like, you know how many times I have my back against the wall? I'm sure you have too, David, where like I could go bankrupt at any moment. Like,
oh yeah. I mean, if somebody hasn't experienced that, they're not trying hard enough. Yeah. So, like, hey, by the way, I just want to tell you this. Somebody just posted this, and this is in a group, so it's not in my normal comment thread. But I could send you this photo or something if you want. This is Eugene, and he says, Bob's the real deal. If you ever get a chance to work with him, he'll help you change your life only if you follow the points and don't deviate. And then he says, this is my personal trading results from today, trading his method. He made like $3,000 a day or something like that.
Boom,
so I just had some random person just posted this on a video in a group that I'm in. You know what I mean? Like,
that's awesome.
I'll take a photo and I'll send it to you.
That's cool.
Hold on. I'll share the screen so people can see this. You know, like we're not trying to sell Bob's stuff on this. We're just doing an interview. Like, you know, so hold on.
Don't buy my stuff, guys. It's okay.
Yeah. Hold on a second here. This is here we go. Facebook, right? So this is here. Check this out, right? This is what he posted. So now your Filipino can.
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, Bob's the real deal. And then he's got a photo, and it's like $3,000 in profit today. You know what I mean? So cool.
That's awesome, man. He's awesome, dude. That guy blew up so fast, and he's been free ever since. He was working at a Italian restaurant. That's the thing. Like my why is two things. I want to be free, and I want to truly help these people. So like I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do after like praying and stuff is I'll like look, and I have these rooms called congratulate wins or something like that. I know it's backwards or something, but that's where everybody goes to celebrate wins. This is where everybody goes to celebrate each other's wins for the day, right? Like, you know, celebrating each other, motivate each other. And that's where I go to first every single day, because that's literally why I do what I do in this niche, because I want to be the guy in the Forex space. Because when you think Forex, I mean, I even think this way, that you think, oh, scammers, like, oh, these hyped up freaking psychopaths with Lambos and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like just trying to steal your money. I always thought that way, but then I knew people personally that were able to like literally make millions of dollars a year that I knew 100% legit, you know? So then I'm like, okay, well, there's money there. I'm going to learn this thing. So I wanted to be the guy that was like the light for the industry, that was actually real, that actually cared about them, that didn't treat them like a freaking number. And that's how you have to be in your businesses. I know David was that way as well in Empower Network, because you just got to see the way he speaks into you, right? Like the way he taught, I still listen to his stuff. You helped my mind so many times. It was insane. And we didn't even like know each other back then, but I listened to your stuff all the time. One of the guys that's my right-hand guy, he always talks about you, Christian Supreme. He had this thing where he do this video where he go like, you better believe, or something like that. And, but he's like my right-hand guy. He trades full-time now. And he's like, well, that's the other thing. I think it's 15 trading sessions a week, London session, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and mornings, afternoons, and evenings, right? On Tuesday through Thursday. And I'm only on one of them. So I have two coaches. One of them, named Bethany, knew nothing about trading 2 years ago, has over $1 million funded, and she's having $50,000, $100,000 days now. She's actually a better trader than me. I say that publicly all the time. Mainly because of her discipline. She's freaking amazing.
She's having like days that are like $50,000 or $100,000.
Yeah,
like when you're trading
$50,000, $100,000 day. I mean, all the time. She'll be like, dude, look at this running. And the great thing is she's using this from prop firms. So like, it's not even her money. It's like other people's money. She's trading, and then she gets paid once a month from these companies, right?
Like how much? So what percentage of that does she get to keep? Like, what's the deal?
80.
So she gets to keep 80% of the money she makes from other people's money.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. That's why I started training it, because originally, so that's what these things are. So originally there wasn't like these prop firms years ago. There was just like these little side deals that you couldn't really get unless you're like really good and nobody knew you or whatever. And so I only knew a bunch of rich people coming from the business space, and like we were just all helping each other out. But then once these became normal, where you could spend $500 and get 100,000 account to leverage, you know, because where else can you do that? I mean, you can't freaking do that anywhere. Like, where you have a shot at that kind of success, because 1% a day, 20 trading days a month to make $20,000 a month, you know, after fees and everything, it's like $16,000. You spent $500, you know, just trading. So I was like, dude, I gotta freaking tear this thing up. Now everybody talks about it. I was like the first to market for sure when it came to like passing challenges and stuff like that. But it's super. I don't even want to get into the trading stuff on this. I mean, I can, but I'm just saying, like the whole. I'm passionate about it. That was my whole point.
If they want to learn trading, I mean, they could just go pay the $7 and go through the process. You know?
Yeah. You'll be. My mission is to blow you away either way. But that's the thing. You got to be passionate about the thing, right? What is it you're good at that you can go help people with? Because there's always going to be somebody that needs your help in that thing, right? Whatever that thing is, and start selling it. It's that easy, really. And it might take you 20 tries. You know, it might take you 30 tries, but like, how bad do you want it? Like, what is your why? Do you want to go back to your job and like freaking have to be there and work 9 to 5 and, you know, God bless you. But man, I can't do it. There's no way I would ever been able to keep a job. I don't know how people do it. It's way harder in my mind to have a job for somebody than to have your own business. Even like, you know what I mean? Like there's not even a chance. No way.
Well, it's just impossible to make this kind of money doing a job. You know, that's the and it's not, you know, people work a lot harder on a job than they do on a business most of the time too.
Exactly.
Like if somebody has a job, this is just something that like, it's constant fighting with people emotionally that you're trying to help to get them to overcome this, because it's very natural for people to kind of go through this where they don't know how to work for themselves. You know what I mean? Right. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to decide to do. They don't know what to invest their money in and what to skip over. And so they end up doing nothing a lot of the time, right? So somebody might spend 3 months, 8 hours a day trying to get an online business set up. But if you look at what they did, it was actually nothing the whole time.
Yeah. And guys, time is just freaking ticking away. I am 40. Like, when did that freaking happen? I don't even, like, dude, I still feel like I'm 18. That's great. Like, I'm glad I have that mindset and everything. But I look in the mirror, I'm like, what the crap? So every week I got to get this shaved down because it's freaking too much gray is popping. I'm like, what the crap? I'll like be walking by the mirror. I'll look over like, oh man, what the, back to the barber. Sometimes every 4 days. I'm like, dude, screw it. Get this thing off my head. You know, my point is, time is like a year from now is going to happen anyways. What if you did this? What if you focused on taking that one thing and just getting even better at it? But don't wait. Just start selling it now. Start selling it today. And every single day, try to sell it. Go reach out to 10 people and try to sell it. Every single day. And just don't stop. You know, a year is going to go by anyways. Imagine you talk to 10 people a day on Facebook. I mean, we live in these crazy times. I just started a new Instagram account. And I went from 0 to 450 followers, you know, in like 3 weeks. Not like a record-breaking thing. But the thing that people don't realize is I'm getting 10 to 20 people messaging me every single day, new people in my inbox. And then there's my many chat, literally talking to if you talk to me, like everybody on here is a secret, like you're going to think it's me. It's actually my bot. And it's probably closing you into my $997 deal. Okay. Which, by the way, then you're going to get a special call, a mindset call from my sales guy. And he's going to pitch you on my $10,000 deal. Okay. So, so there's the little secret.
Yeah, but you know, there's nothing to be ashamed of with your business that's selling. You know, if somebody doesn't want it, they don't buy it. You know what I mean? That's the thing. But like, you know, you listen to this, and here he's got a business running total on autopilot, where now you're only showing up a couple of times a week. I can tell you're passionate about it because, you know, I ran into somebody right on this, and we don't even have a lot of viewers on here right now because, I mean, I'm just doing this show for a couple of weeks or whatever, right? And you've got somebody on here who's saying, yeah, I made $3,000 today with Bob's stuff. You know what I mean? So you are helping people. It's really obvious.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
So, I mean, we've been on here for for an hour, and it's like impossible to get you out to talk, and especially for free. You know what I mean? So like, what is a tip or some secrets is there some sort of a secret that you can give people to help them just get into a mode where they're making, where they're starting to make money for the first time, maybe if they've never made any money before? Like, what can somebody do like right now to start making money like in the next week?
Okay. I think the most powerful thing possible right now, well, you saw Seth on here. He blew up. I mean, he's just posting reels of his tile business. Okay. And he's showing me his back end. Yeah. He's showing me his back end stats. He's getting like millions of views per freaking thing he puts out there now. Right. And now he's coming out with a course. I'm kind of helping him with that side, the course. Hopefully he doesn't mind I tell him that part, but I'm helping him put out a course on how he does that for those kind of, the blue collar workers, So, but I think the most powerful thing right now by far is Reels. So, and I think Facebook and Instagram Reels are probably the most powerful thing. I think TikTok's cool, but they got a bunch of cheap people on there is what I'm finding, like really cheap people. So what I would do, I think if there was any secret, now it's anything I say is going to require work, but if there's anything I would do right now, and I had to start completely over, is one, have something for sale, right? If you still don't want to have your own product, at least have something you can make a $50 to $100 commission on at the front or something, right? Something that you could replace like your income if you sold a few of them a week, right? And do one reel a day, 30 to 60 seconds, every single freaking day, and put it on Facebook and not give a crap what anybody thinks unless they're paying your bills, right? I used to care because I used to have a bunch of pastors on there. They're all like, I was almost a pastor in another life too. And I have like all these pastors and all these people looking at me and judging me and like, oh, Bob's talking about money again and all this stuff. And I used to like hold myself back so much until I realized like, dude, like people need me. Like that's the point you got to get to. Like who needs to hear your message today? Right. So you're robbing somebody of the message they need to hear. I'm not being foo-foo there. I'm being serious. Somebody needs to hear what you need to teach them that day on that reel or talk about on that reel. And that's going to start attracting a massive amount of people to you. It's insane. Like I said, on Instagram, I have this little time. If you looked on the outside, you would think I'm extremely unsuccessful. I have 450 measly little followers on there, but I have 10 to 20 people every single day messaging me. Like, do you realize that people are chasing me down? They're not even my followers yet. They're just messaging me, right? Because I allow.
It's a gold mine. It's a gold mine.
Yeah, it's wide open. You have unlimited. You have zero excuses. Zero excuses. You just need to get out there because remember I said that thing about the big guy with the zits and all that stuff. It doesn't matter what you look like. Don't just freaking start shooting videos. Put it out there. Period. And some people are going to like you and be attracted to what you're saying and start messaging you. And if that's all your call to action is, just say, hit me up. If you need more tips or follow me, just, it doesn't have to be like, and don't sell on the reels. You know what I mean? Like just freaking pique their interest and tell them to message you. That's it.
Right. Okay. All right. So on reels, then you're not selling on all these little things that like people do. Cause I think that the thing, I was talking to my friend Jamie. He's my only other friend that has marketed as young as you started marketing was my friend James, right? And he started marketing when he was 12 as well. He was actually working for me when I think he was 13 or 14, writing articles and things like this. And now he's, he's done, I don't know, he did like 40 or 50 million or something on Shopify, flips Shopify store stuff. I'm going to have him out here too, talking about this. But like, so what we were talking about is the amount of exposure you can get today is just exponentially bigger than it has ever been. It is just so easy to get exposure. It's easier to get exposure than either when me or you or him started, even though like we were around the internet game maybe earlier than other people. It's easier to get exposure now. And reels, if you're saying that reels are like the way to go. And I saw Seth, by the way, I looked at his reels because he's getting millions and millions and millions and millions of people seeing his reels that he's putting out. He puts a reel out, just like millions of people, they see these things and they share it and they like it and things like this. And so he's going to put out a course, Seth, hey, Seth, I would love to have you out on one of these interviews, man. That'd be great. Talking about how you get all these people looking at your reels. So maybe get me up on a message,
Yeah, he's a good guy to have on. I've known, like I said, known him since he was like 15. Best man at my wedding, and now we're just like giving each other tips. Like, hey, start adding, adding like this closer up in the description. You'll get more follows. Like, do this, and like we're just going back and forth, And but him showing me the stats, I couldn't even believe my eyes. I'm like, dude, you're just showing your tile work, which is amazing work, by the way. But like, and he's getting millions and millions and millions of views, and now what he can do, and I told him this, what he can do is he can literally he can go on vacation. You can say, I'm going to be in Orlando, Florida for a month, right? Or whatever. And he can literally say, who needs jobs out there or jobs done out there right now? And I guarantee you he'll have people like saying, yeah. Like literally lining up, because in their minds, he's like a celebrity now. It's just the way it is. Dude, you'd be shocked. By the time people get on the phone with me or I do a Zoom call, if I do that, they got this. I've even had like in-house events where people flew to, when I lived in Ohio, they flew all the way to Akron to meet me and do these in-office events where I'd charge $10,000, $20,000 for that. And dude, they like shake when they meet you. You're literally like a celebrity to them just because you're putting yourself on a video. It's insane. It's the most.
Well, yeah. What happens is, especially when you get, people don't realize how many views this is. With something like Reels, where I've got, one of my friends I was talking to the other week, he's making like 14 grand a month just putting Reels up. And Facebook's just giving him money. He's making like 14 grand a month doing that. You know what I mean? Like they'll just like pay you money for this stuff. But also a million people seeing your stuff. I mean, you got 30,000 stalkers on there. You know what I mean? Like if they see you on the street, like in a totally random town that you've never been to, they'll be like, "Hey, yo, Bob Becket over here, woo!" You're like a rock star.
Yeah, that definitely happens to me all the time. Like just the other day, I was at the gym and this guy comes up, dude. I was working out with my son. I'm doing my curls. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking good. And all of a sudden, I hear my voice on a video on a phone behind me. And the guy's literally making sure it's me on his phone watching a video. He goes, and I turn around and me and my son look at each other like, what's this guy doing? He goes, Bob Becket? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm one of your customers. I'm like, what the crap is going on? Like, I'm seeing all these people like in this little town I'm living in, like in the middle of Florida, like just randomly meeting people. It's happened to me in Ohio. Like I'll go in different states and people will be like, Bob Becket. And I'm like, what the crap, dude? This is getting weird. Like, because I'm introvert. People don't believe I'm introverted. Bro, I'd rather just like, I like my people. Once you're like in my, like your close friend, now we're all good. Now I'm an extrovert around you. But like around, like, I'm like, oh man, people don't realize it. But I do good out in public, but it is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Them views, man. You got to get them views and you got to stay consistent, guys. Don't think, oh, here's the other secret about Reels. Okay.
Right.
You might put up 20 to 30 in a row that get nothing. They get like 100 views, 120 views. And then all of a sudden one takes off and it's going to be the one you don't think is going to be good. It's going to be the one you put the least time in and didn't think it was going to go viral. And all of a sudden you go viral and all of a sudden it adds 10, 20, 30,000 followers to your account. And now when you go out, your algorithm is going to go through the freaking roof because your engagement's going to get so much bigger. And then you're going to reach more people because your engagement's so much bigger. And that's how it goes. So the way Facebook and Instagram and all these companies work is they want to see content. They make all their money by having new, fresh content all the time. So they're going to reward you by staying consistent, period. So this is one of those things where you can't be like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then you put out like 5 days worth in a row and you're like, yeah, man, I only got like 300 views total and nobody messaged me. No, you have to do it every freaking day and you have to stay consistent. And then over a period of time, you probably will be successful. Obviously I can't guarantee that, but you probably will be a lot further than you are now, So,
well, who do you know that, like, I mean, this is a good question. If anybody is watching this and they're asking, is like, who do you actually know that has put out content straight for like 5 or 10 years and is not making 10,000 a month from it? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, you have to stop and you have to be like, and think if you actually know somebody that's done that. Like I'm talking about, like they put a YouTube video out like every day for like 5 or 10 years, right? Or they put out like a reel every day since the Reels program has come out. And it's like they've put out a TikTok video every single day for a year. Like, who do you know that just put a TikTok video out every single day for like a year and does not have enough followers on TikTok to make money?
Right.
If they're not making money from like TikTok or something like that, it's just because maybe they don't know how. But they're going to have a lot of followers just if they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like they're going to have a lot of followers on there. So I think that this is just like a good place maybe to end this live. And I'm going to have to pop on. I've got another live here, Bob. But thank you so much for coming out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
if you're watching
man.
this, you can make. I mean, if you watched this video, I mean, of course, I'd encourage you to go to his website, like we outlined earlier on. You can make $10,000 a month. Like you put something together and make $10,000 a month from what we covered on today's live. Like it's enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can figure it out. From what we talked about today, you can do it.
Just remember, guys, you always heard that saying, probably is the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Next best time is now. Right? So don't go a whole nother year and be like, dang it, I wish I would have started. You know what I mean? Don't be that person. Just freaking start. Go after your dreams now. Like this isn't like foo-foo stuff. Program. I don't anymore. I used to have all kinds of courses, but I don't. But ultimately, I would say Reel. Throw up a ClickFunnels squeeze page, attach it to Aweber or something, and freaking start sending people there if you want to build a list there. Yeah.
Well, cool, everybody. Thank you for popping on. We appreciate you very much for attending. Feel free to like this and share this with people that you know who can benefit from this. Bob, thank you so much for coming out and for sharing. I mean, you just gave tons and tons of value today. So once again, before people go, what's the website they can go to again? It's Pip Stacking. It's like pipstackingsecrets.com.
I'm gonna put it in the actual comments. There we go.
Yeah. Put it in the comments and we'll put it up here. You can go here, pipstackingsecrets.com/special. And, if you go there, and I'm just making a disclaimer. I don't make money from this. This is just, I'm putting this up here because he gave a lot of value today. And I'd encourage you, of course, to pick up his little tool that he's got. He doesn't need these sales either because all the sales are coming in from paid ads, but I thought it was valuable and he's helped a lot of people make money. So appreciate it, everybody. We will see you on the next one. I'll be out bringing on, experts from different industries that are making a lot of money and also people that are just influencing people in different ways and doing very unique things in the marketplace. Keep coming back and following for more. And we appreciate everybody. Thank you, Bob.
All right. Thanks, David, for having